All right guys, check it out. This is my 1970 Plymouth GTX. Welcome to the channel. This is Mopar V Code and my name is Levi. This is my 1970 Plymouth GTX 440 6-barrel 3-speed automatic transmission featured in B7 Jamaican Blue. Only 7,700 of these cars were made in 1970, and of those 768 of them came with this 440 6-barrel 390 horsepower engine, and of those only 328 came with an automatic transmission. This car is pretty special to me. It's been in my family for over 50 years. My father bought this as a young man back in 1979. He ended up selling it to my uncle later on in 1987. My uncle held on to the car up until 2018 when he passed away. I was able to buy it from his estate, and it's been sitting in my shop since 2018 as a non-running, non-driving, unrestored car. Looking to change that this summer and doing a little mini build series on it, so stay tuned and follow along. As we bring life back into this old girl, we'll start by going through the engine, getting this 6-pack dialed in, and just trying to get a real status on the engine, on what the health of the engine is. We may need to pull it out and do a full overhaul on the engine, but I'd like to at least get it running and then do a check on it. And then we'll move on to the suspension, brakes, fuel system, and then I'd like to get a new set of tires for it. I'm thinking OE Steelies, paired up with some BFG. I think that gives it a real good aggressive muscle car look. And then also something for the purist. This car is not a numbers matching car, does not have the original engine or transmission. So that kind of frees me up to play around with it just a little bit more. I do want to keep it true to an OE style car, with a few kickers here and there. This car does have an air grabber hood, N96 with hood pins. It is not original to the car, but it will be staying there as it is a pretty cool feature. These seats I've got in this car now, I actually ended up purchasing them on the old marketplace. I found a guy selling them out of a 70 Roadrunner. They came in orange and black. The orange was kind of like a crushed velvet, if you will. Pretty sweet, I know, but not too far different really from what was in there. It's a blue crushed felt. Those were the original seats, so it was a bucket seat car to begin, or correction, it was a bench seat car originally, and we converted it to a bucket seat car. But you can see these covers, they turned out pretty good, really. I ordered them from Legendary Auto, and I did it myself. It was kind of a weekend project, and it turned out pretty good. I do still need to get the white seat backs. I just have the black ones on there now, but end up getting some carpet as well. This is some pretty good carpet. I believe, if I recall right, the company is called OC Carpet. And I got the upgraded one where it has like the rubber matting, or rubber backing on it rather, and it molded really well. It really fed in there, and it was really shaped. You just have to trim it a little bit along the firewall there, and then along both sill plates, just trim the length, and it fits really good. Looks nice and clean. But you can see these seat belts, I got these from, I think, Seatbelt Solutions. It's their 3-point conversion, I wouldn't recommend it. I think they're crap, but I'm gonna end up buying some OE style seat belts to put back in it. It's just what I could find temporarily. This headliner, you can see it's got a few mice holes here and there. We'll get to that as well, but I think it's probably gonna be best if I pull the windshield out to do that. And then of course we'll need new door panels and armrests to match our white interior. The rest of it's all gonna stay blue, so just the seats and the door panels and armrests will be white. And that's actually how you could order it back in the day, 1970. So that's what I'm hoping to achieve here with the interior, and just trying to kind of bring it back to life and make it a little more desirable on the interior side. But you can see the dash. The dash is in pretty decent shape for the age. Just a little bit of wear on the wood grain here and there. You can see like in this area right here, it's a little faded off. But the dash pad itself's got maybe 1 or 2 little hairline cracks. Really not that bad. The steering wheel, this is an upgraded option for this car. 3-spoke wood grain. And that's something else I don't really see on the fender tag when we get to that. It doesn't list it. I don't know, maybe it was a standard option, but I'm almost positive it was an upgraded option for this car. And then moving over here, we can see we have an AM 8-track stereo, 3 speakers in the dash. And that's also something else that came with the car originally. And I don't see that on the fender tag either. But backing back out to the outside of the car, we can see a better look of this air grabber hood and how aggressive that thing looks. And then bringing you in here, we can see the VIN tag. We got the RS23, which is the GTX, and then the VOA is the engine identifier, stating that we have a 446 barrel engine. You can see the body is actually not terrible. It has a little blistering here on the rockers, but I don't think it's too structural, more surface damage than anything, but we won't know until we start digging into that. Then the rear quarters here, you can see the very back half, I'm sure it has a 1/4 inch of plastic filler on top of some homemade patch, it looks like. And then the lips on the quarters, they're a little crusty, but so I'll probably end up doing quarters on both sides later on down the road, nothing immediate here. And probably most likely a trunk floor pan as well. But the front clip is pretty decent shape, pretty solid. The fenders, the hood is pretty decent. It's an OEM hood, it's not an aftermarket hood, so it has all the goodies. It needs some help. It needs a new seal and everything for the air grabber, but and you know, just the normal stuff. This is the 440 engine. It is a non-numbers matching 440. It is a 69 block, which is period correct for the 1970 car. It does have a 69 cast intake on it, so that is also period correct, I believe, for the car. The engine does turn over. I have pulled all the spark plugs, put about 2 tablespoons of seafoam in each cylinder, kind of injected it in there with a little hose and syringe, and then cranked it over, I don't know, a dozen times or 2 dozen times, just to kind of lube up the walls and lube up the piston rings. It's been sitting for quite a while, so it was pretty dry. So I did that about a week or so ago, just trying to get it set up. It's got a 26-inch radiator. The hidden numbers are on the core support, so it's the original core support. Moving over to the fender tag here, we can kind of run through that. 123 is the number on the valve covers normally for the engine. From what I understand, I don't have a lot of information on that, but 084, that's a Dana 60 rear end. 26 is a 26-inch radiator. EB7 is the Jamaican blue. V88 is the striped delete down the side. P3 B5 is the bench seat. B5 blue interior. D32 is automatic transmission. RS23 is the GTX, and the VOA is the 446 barrel. So those are the numbers on the tag. Not a really high option car, at least according to the fender tag. And one thing I found kind of interesting, this car has actually got an 8 3/4 with 355 sure grip. it calls out for a Dana 60, so I'm not sure when that was changed, or if it was changed, or if it came like that from factory. But you can see it's got the correct leaf spring pack for the 446 barrel, with those being a heavier stack. All right, and with that, I think we'll go ahead and end the video here. Just want to keep it short, and wanted to give you a quick overview of the car as the beginning of this build series for this GTX. We have a ton of parts coming, over a dozen different vendors sending me parts, and I plan on doing a kind of an unboxing and kind of overview of each component, and we'll go from there. But in the meantime, I don't have a lot else for you to check out, but I recommend you checking out just Mopar Joe. Joe's got some great content over there, as well as Knoll Automotive. Keith is a fellow Iowan, and it's just a hop skipping away from me, also having some great content. But that'll bring this one to an end. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. Catch you later.